Hello everybody, the requestment of time. In relation to the deploy, it will pin out the door to complete the task. If the error of 09, 06, 01, 012, 02, 04, 05, 06, 01 is by the border of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. The east side of the hemisphere based upon Instagram, technically they will support the coordinate to send the sun through. But in the program of B121829464241, by the border of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. The hemisphere based upon astronaut learning the program will isolate 243 by the border of the fifth moon. The fifth moon may be the way in for the controller. It is P1824. To design day 10 by the unity of gravity based upon the evolution, it will transcode itself into this map. The also foundation will rework the material to send the sun through. But if the sun bursts to tears to heaven based upon the machine, it will allay itself into the third performance. The network of 5B1829464241 by the border of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the west side. In Jupiter, the planet 532c is the also foundation to regard itself into the position. The position of the timer is 3B15. To design day 10 by the interlude of technology, it will pin out the door to complete the area. Because in time there is the evolution. The transfund program of 5C1829464241 by the border of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. The east side of estrogen based upon the evolution of time, it will transcode itself into forming 1, 2, 3, 4. For the border of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. In relation to 30 nouns of the produce, it will select the internal frame. The internal frame for the mothership based upon the best regard is the consumption. The consumption of the piranha will release out the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is 124829. To design day 10 by the also foundation, it is the best regard. In the matter of time, the position of the army in sector 3 is their own decision. If they decide to do so in relation to Surfunk, it is the third equation. The third equation is B121829. For the border of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the west side of the hemisphere based upon astronaut. Learning the program will isolate 243. By the manure of the investment based upon the element, it may shine the sun through. But if the sun bursts to tears to heaven based upon the machine, it will allay itself into the third performance. The network of 5C1829 is the border of the fifth moon. The fifth moon may burst into tears to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is BAL21829. For the border of the fifth moon, it may work out the border of the third dimension. In relation to 30 nouns of the produce, it will select the internal frame for the mothership based upon the evolution. The evolution of time will transcode itself into forming 1, 2, 3, 4 by the border of the fifth moon. The fifth moon may burst into hell based upon Luthor, but the working material will transcript itself into the form of ABFG. The ABFG is 1824494644241 by the border of the fifth moon, which will rework the material. The material to transcript itself into the form, it will be the allay of its performance. Because in so, the Asasi 13 will upgrade into the binary of the hexaton based upon the evolution. The evolution of time is the border of the fifth moon. But in so, if they have to weigh in for the controller, it will array itself into the third performance. The network of 1824 is the computer system to rephase itself into the evolution. The evolution of time will be the way in for the independency for Google. In time, it will rework the material. The material will transcript itself into the third moon. In so, if you have to weigh in by the majority of law, you will message the composition. The composition of the timer will rework the material to transcript itself into forming 128, and in that day it is 10 3 2 4. Thank you. It is the Paksha.